It's January 12th, which means it has been a year since I took my first injection of Zepbound. I got my prescription a year ago. It sat in the refrigerator for about 3 or 4 days because I had the plan to take it on a Friday just in case I experienced any side effects that would throw me off, and so I wouldn't have to miss work. So I woke up on that Friday of January 12th, weighed myself. I weighed in at 315.1. And I proceeded to take my first injection, 2.5 milligrams, not having an idea of what was in store for me for this upcoming year. Had no idea how my body would respond. Had no real plan other than to lose as much as I could. So I took that first injection, and that first week I wasn't expecting to lose any much because it was known that the 2.5 was the starter dose and you shouldn't expect any weight loss during that period because it wasn't therapeutic. But that first week I lost 9.3 pounds, and it hit me at that point that this medication is going to be a game changer in a way that diet and exercise wasn't, in a way that my lap band surgery or my gastric sleeve surgery weren't. And it made me a believer at that point. So at that point I wanted to go all in. And over the course of a year, I have now lost 109.1 pounds. I lost all that weight and I gained my health back. I lost sleep apnea over the course of the year. I lost stage 2 hypertension. I lost high triglycerides levels, high cholesterol, but I also gained a community on TikTok and YouTube during that period. I've learned so much from people that have educated me on this journey, that have inspired me through their own journey, and that have cheered beyond. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you, regardless of which category that you fall in, or if you fall in all three of them. I just want to thank you. So a recap of this year of how I lost this weight. So I did 4 weeks of 2.5 milligrams. At this point, I was kind of following the Lilly guideline of titrate up every 4 weeks. But in the course of that, I was educated not to titrate up too fast. So my goal at that point was just to get to 10 and go from there. So I did 4 weeks of 2.5. During that 4 weeks, I lost 16.5 pounds and moved up to 5 milligrams. And on 5, I stayed on 5 for 4 weeks, and I lost another 12 pounds, which brought my total to 28.5 over that 2-month period. And I think it was at that point that I learned that the $25 copay that I was paying with the savings card, I could also get a 90-day supply for that same $25. So at that point, I made the decision to ask my doctor for a 90-day prescription at 7.5. So I was going to stay on 7.5 for 3 months and see how that went. My doctor wrote the script, I picked it up, and that first month of 7.5, I lost 13.9 pounds, and things were moving. So I brought my total over that period to 42.4 pounds. And then on month 2 of 7.5, I lost 9.8, which brought my total to 52.2. And on that third month, I lost another 13.6 pounds, which brought my total to 65.8. And at that point, I was talking to my doctor, and we made the decision to move up to 10. And I was going to stay on 10 for as long as I could. At that point, that was the decision that I made with the doctor. I didn't know how fast I would get to my goal. When I started the journey, I started it with a goal in mind of 225. No rhyme or reason as to why. I just thought that I would look good at 225, a healthy fighter weight. So that's what I was shooting for. So I picked up my prescription, my 90-day prescription of 10 milligrams. That first month on 10 was a little challenging. The first couple injections, especially the first 3 or 4 days after the injection, I didn't want to eat or drink, and it hit me like a Mack truck. Eventually, I got used to it. But that first month on 10, I lost 11.4 pounds, which brought me to 77.2 down over that period. And then I did another month on 10, and I lost another 10.4 pounds, which brought me to 87.6 down across 28 weeks. I was averaging over 3 pounds lost per week. Of course, I was doing everything that I should be doing, hitting my protein goals, lifting weights. I was in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, strength training 3 to 4 days of that, and hitting cardio every day that I was hitting the gym. And so I opened the third box of 10, and I took the first injection of that box, and that week I lost another 3.8 pounds, and that pushed me past my 225 goal and brought me down to 223.7. And at that point I was down 91.4 pounds in 29 weeks. And because the way that my body was responding to the medication, I talked to my doctor, and I wanted to stop the weight loss because I hit goal and I wanted to put the brakes on. So we made the decision to drop down to 5. That did put the brakes on the weight loss. I did 5 for 4 weeks. and I lost just another 1.1 pounds across that 4 week. But the thing with that is I had the resurgence of food noise, and it came back pretty strong. So talked to my doctor and went back up to 7.5. And while that did silence the food noise, it ramped up the weight loss again. So I spent another 13 weeks trying to figure out the balance between this higher dose that I needed to silence the food noise and how much I needed to work out in order to balance that out, because I couldn't increase my calories because the medication wouldn't allow me to, and also because of the gastric sleeve restriction. So I played around with a few things. It took me 13 weeks to figure it out. I had to figure out how much to work out, how hard I should work out. Do I go down to 2 days a week, 3 days a week? Do I go down to 30 minutes of cardio from 45? Do I stop lifting 3 days a week? And I finally figured it out. So across that 13 weeks, I lost another 16.5 pounds, which brought my weight loss total up to 109. That brought me down to 206.1. And at that point, I had finally figured out the right mix of working out on this 7.5 dose and maintaining my weight. Since figuring that out and hitting 206.1, I have maintained that for another 6 weeks. So I bounced between 206 and 206.3 across 6 weeks. And so I think I finally figured this out. Right now, today, I weigh 206 flat, which means I have lost 109.1 pounds. And I am down 34.6% from when I initially started a year ago. And if I compare that to my highest weight back in 2015, when I was 358 pounds, I am down 152 pounds, which represents 42.4% loss from that highest weight. Now, I don't know what this upcoming year is going to bring in 2025, but I know my goal is to never, ever go back. And again, I want to thank everyone that had a hand in educating me and inspiring me through your own journeys, and for cheering me on and providing inspiration for me to continue, because I knew that so many of you are out there looking to me for inspiration. Again, thank you for a really great year, and I look forward to what this upcoming year has to bring.